Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I have another speed build for you guys. It's been a while since I recorded a voiceover for a speed build. For some of my most recent speed builds, I've just been editing the footage of me building the build, and then I've just been like putting some type of chill music over it in the background. I've been trying really hard to upload consistently every week. I usually upload every Saturday, even though the last 2 weeks I think I've been uploading on Sunday. Even though the week before that, I ended up posting on Sunday instead of Saturday because I did not look at the video once I was finished editing it and everything. I had exported it and I did not watch it before I uploaded it, and for some reason when I was exporting it, like the quality, like I don't know, like something happened with that, and I had uploaded that video to YouTube without realizing it. And so when I realized how crappy that video was, I didn't take the video down, I unlisted it, but I had to wait till I got off from work, and that evening I had to re-export it and I re-uploaded the video so that it could be a decent quality. And then of course last week I didn't upload on Saturday because it was the holidays in my where I live. There we have Thanksgiving, so I just didn't really have a whole lot of time to edit that week, so my video kind of came out a little bit late. But I think this week I will be getting back on track with my Saturday uploads, and I'm hoping that because this speed build, it's not a very long one, so that's why I went ahead and decided to go back to doing my voiceovers because it's a pretty short video. But I'm hoping that I do have like a couple other videos that are kind of like shorter, so maybe hopefully I'm trying to get onto a schedule where I can increase my uploads to 2 videos a week. So crossing my fingers I can like do that and like manage everything else that I'm currently working on, because I do work full-time and have other little projects that I like to work on too, and also trying to take care of myself. But I do like the speed builds where I just like find some chill music and I put it over that, because I don't know, I kind of like putting on videos like that when I'm like just like in my zone, like building on my computer. I don't know, those videos are kind of relaxing, but I also feel like, you know, these kind of videos where I'm talking over everything is also really cool too, because I feel like when I'm doing it this way, you can kind of get an inside scoop on like my process for everything. But let me know in the comments down below which method you prefer. Like, do you prefer I do voiceovers for my speed builds, or do you prefer the like music over top and you're just like watching me build silently? So I guess we can start with why I decided to do this build. I decided that I wanted to do a renovation in Myshuno. I think this is one of the apartments that it's either in the fashion district or the art district, but I'm pretty sure it's the fashion district. And the reason why I wanted to do an apartment renovation is because lately I've realized that I haven't really been playing The Sims like just for fun, like just in like my spare time. I don't know, for some reason I load up my game and I just can't decide what I want to do. The only time I really play the game now is when I'm either building or if I'm recording a let's play, and I've really been wanting to get back into playing the game just for myself. It's like one of my favorite like escapes, and for some reason I just haven't been able to really get into it. Like for some reason, like I feel like when I load up a new save, like I can't really play the game because I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like pressure to completely change the world, like do a bunch of different renovations, put a different new lots down, and I have not completed a save yet. So like when I load up a new game, I don't know, like I feel like the regular base game, like, or however it comes, like the worlds that are set up how they are, they just don't have enough stuff for my Sims to do. And I don't know, I just feel like really bored and limited when my Sims are kind of just like confined to these sets. And I feel like Myshuno is like the opposite of that, because I feel like Myshuno, especially in like the different districts, there's usually different things going on, so I don't feel like that same feeling. Like if I was gonna like start a new save in Oasis Springs or Willow Creek, I feel like if I played in one of those worlds, I would feel like I would want to build completely new community lots before I start. And I just wanted to have like a game where I just like made a sim and put them in a place and I can like go ahead and start playing from there. And I feel like Myshuno is like the perfect world for that, because I don't know, I still kind of feel like I want to update the lots in Myshuno, even though I do have a few kind of Myshuno lots on in my gallery, so I can like just take those. So that's why I kind of play in Myshuno a lot, especially when I'm starting off. But most of the time, like, to be completely honest, I don't think I've ever completed a complete 10 generation legacy in The Sims 4. It was something that I used to do all the time when I was younger and I was playing The Sims 3 and The Sims 2. Like, I would have like a very long family line, but for some reason in The Sims 4, I just can't do that. Like, for some reason, like, once my Sims start having children and stuff, I kind of get bored and then I have to start completely over, and then I just make new Sims. And I feel like San Myshuno is like the perfect place to do that, like to just play with a young adult and have them like starting off their new life and their new journey and starting their journey from scratch. And so my main idea for this build is that it's going to be a home for a young adult sim that's just starting out and moving out on their own. I feel like the sim that's moving into this apartment, they might be a little bit naive and a little bit hopeful about their future, so they're just like going all in and they really don't know what to expect from their adult life. And I feel like I'm probably going to title this video like apartment with a secret, because this is one of the needs TLC apartments that comes with San Myshuno, which means that it has some things that might not be ideal. Like it has a few mouse holes, and it has like this vent that occasionally you'll get like some stinky stuff coming from it, which is in the kitchen. And then there is the breaker box, and I think there's this, and then it's like the exposed pipes which occasionally leaks water, and you'll have to call your landlord to come over to fix these things, or you can have your Sims try to fix them on their own. And like the kind of my idea for this apartment is I wanted to try and hide some of these things. Also, I forgot to mention, in this apartment, which is kind of unique to the other TLC apartments, there's also this like body outline that you probably saw at the very beginning of this speed build, and I tried to like find a flooring that kind of like covers it, so like, I mean, you can still see it, and it's something that you can't get rid of, or I don't know any ways of getting rid of it. I know probably you could use maybe a cheat or something to get rid of it, but I kind of like the idea that maybe the landlord, they're trying to get this apartment sold, they're trying to get someone to sign a lease on this apartment, so they're like just trying to find ways to renovate this apartment and hide as much of these things as possible, so that they might like post these pictures online, but they're not gonna like post the bad things about this apartment. And then you have this sim who is just starting out with their life, with their young adult life, and they're not going to have the the thought of like looking out for these kind of things, because they're just excited about moving out on their own. And I feel like it's pretty realistic, because if you're moving into an apartment it's not new and it's been lived in before, there is going to be things that you find that aren't necessarily ideal. So when you come into these apartments and you're ready to decorate and stuff, you do kind of think of ways that you can like hide these things or make them less noticeable. And so with this young adult that's moving into this apartment, they're mostly just focused on making the best of their situation, and just they're grateful for the ability to move out on their own anyway, so they can like ignore these things that aren't necessarily the best. And also the sim that I'm playing with, I kind of decided that I wanted to make them be someone who aspires to make it in San Myshuno. They decided to move into the city because they thought that it would be like the perfect place to move to like get a kickstart on their career. I'm not really sure if I want them to be an actor or like some type of influencer. Like if I decide if I can like squeeze in the little media making thing, the little station thing, or maybe if I decide to play with mods, I can like, there's like a mod that I have where you can like just make videos on the computer and you don't have to buy that huge media station. I haven't decided exactly what I want them to be yet, but that's kind of like the idea that I had for them moving into this apartment, that they do hope to make it eventually in San Myshuno. And I don't know, I don't want to call this like an influencer apartment, but I feel like, it kind of has like that look where I feel like a lot of people's apartments are kind of transforming into this. I did use a lot of the newest pack that just came, well, not a pack, it was a kit. I think it's called Cool Kitchen, and I don't really buy all the packs and kits as soon as they come out. I typically don't buy every single pack. Like to this day, I still don't have Love Struck because it wasn't a pack that I really wanted. And it did go on sale during Black Friday, but it wasn't a sale that, I don't know, I wasn't really happy with how much it was still. And I think I can wait a little bit longer so I can go on an even bigger sale eventually, and maybe then I'll buy it. But I did really want to buy the Life and Death pack because I've been seeing people build with that pack, and I really like the items that I've seen so far, and I also like the cast, and I also like some of the gameplay aspect of it. But I don't know, for me, let me know what you guys think. I feel like a lot of the packs that are coming out recently, I feel like they are just like, well, EA or whoever's making these packs, I feel like they're copying off of mod creators. I don't want to be that type of simmer, but for some reason they feel very similar to me. Like a lot of the things or many of the concepts that came from Life and Death, it came from a mod that's already out, and I think it's made by the Sim Realist, and I know because it's a mod that I usually play with, and I think it's called Mortem or something like that, and it allows you the aspect of having funerals in your game, and I really like that aspect of that type of gameplay. And also with the Love Struck pack, I feel like there's a bunch of different like relationship mods and stuff, so I just don't really feel the pressure to spend money on those types of packs. I mean, maybe after the holidays and everything, maybe I'll go ahead and invest in those packs, but for right now, I don't really feel the need to buy them. I feel with these speed builds, I rarely ever talk about the build itself. I think for the items that I use, I know I wanted to use a lot of the cool kitchen kit, but I think I also used a lot of dream home decorator, especially in the kitchen, because I don't often give my Sims really nice kitchens like this. I mean, I feel like this is kind of nice. Of course, it's not like the fanciest of kitchens, but usually when I do builds, I do typically use a lot of the base game counters, and then I also use the base game stove, and I wouldn't consider them like the best, but I don't know, I feel like they're nice, like cheaper alternative. So I don't know, it's really nice when I'm able to use like for me personally, the dream home decorator kitchens are probably my favorite in the entire game, because I like how like the sets just go together, and like my second favorite would be like the set that came from what is it? Home Chef Hustle, I think it is. And then I also use a lot of the shelves that came with Dream Home Decorator, because I feel like in apartments, especially because you do have limited space, like having built-in shelves or anything like that comes in handy, because you're able to kind of like put things away without things being out and all over the place. Like if you live in an apartment, you know how important it is to be able to store things, because especially in a small apartment, things can get really cluttered really, really fast. But I feel like this apartment is like perfect for a young adult that's just moving out, and I was able to stick to a budget. So any sim that you make that's just like fresh out of Creative Sim, they should be able to move here, because I think I was able to have everything furnished, and I might have had like a few hundred left, I'm not for sure. I didn't include a TV, but they do have a computer, and I feel like I'm okay with not having a TV, because I feel like the sim that's moving here, I don't feel like they really would want a TV, because I feel like their mindset is mostly around like getting out into the city and like exploring their surroundings and exploring outside, and they don't really want to stay in their apartment. But I feel like this apartment is like the perfect place to come home to. Like that's kind of the vibes that I get from it. It's like very cozy and like friendly and inviting. So maybe hopefully when the sim maybe eventually makes some friends and connections, they can like invite them back to their apartment, and it's like a really cool place to hang out, I feel like. And I feel like this is like one of the first times where I've done a build where I've given myself a budget. Well, I didn't really give myself a budget, but I do plan on playing with the sim that lives here, and I typically don't cheat my money in any type of way. Like I have my sim just start off with the regular amount that they have. Sometimes I actually cheat money away and make them start off with absolutely nothing, but I didn't want to do that for that sim, so I just let them start off with the 20,000 simoleons that they started off with. And usually when I'm building, like let's say I'm building a house, like I struggle so much with staying on budget, or like I do kind of get a build done, but I'm kind of unsatisfied with it, because I kind of wish that I had more decoration and a little bit more clutter. Like I love a lot of clutter in my build, but I feel like this build was like the perfect like balance between both, because I didn't like decorate it too much, but it's like decorated enough that kind of like you can see like the personality of the build, but it's not too decorated, because I feel like maybe it's okay to have a house that's like super decorated like once they've lived here for a while. And I do plan on having the sim live here for a little bit, and I think it'll be really cool for them to like get out, maybe like take pictures with their friends, maybe find some collectibles, and then they can incorporate that into their house decor, instead of me just like putting a bunch of random stuff from build buy mode and having that be their decor. Like, I don't know, I feel like that tells like a really good story. At the time of me recording this, it is currently Saturday, and I'm literally, as soon as I'm done doing this voiceover, I'm going to upload this video, and it should be live in a couple hours. I don't know if I'm going to have time to put this build on the gallery, because I do have to also go to work really soon. So I'm kind of like rushing to get this voiceover done so I can get ready for work and go. But I do think like once I get off tonight, I will go ahead and upload this build to the gallery. And the thing about uploading apartments to the gallery is you can't like really do that. At least I don't think you can. Maybe they've updated it since I've last done an apartment. But I think the way that I have to do these apartments is I have to make sure that I delete some walls in order to make sure that the gallery considers this a room, and then you can like find the room on the gallery. My gallery ID will be down below in the description. So if you decide to download this gallery, so so if you decide to download this build from the gallery, just keep in mind that you'll just have to replace the walls, and you can just use the eyedropper tool to kind of replace the wallpaper. And it shouldn't be like a huge problem, but also just make sure that you have bb.moveobjects turned on when you download this build from the gallery. I do also plan on getting this build uploaded to CurseForge if you want the tray files, because I'm like super behind on uploading my builds to CurseForge. It's like so crazy, and I don't know why, but I'm keep like procrastinating from doing it. But I do plan on hopefully getting as caught up as possible Monday when I'm off. That's my next day off, so hopefully I'll be able to get some of my builds uploaded to CurseForge. And that's just like another way you can like support me if you choose to, because I am able to like kind of earn points from people downloading my builds from CurseForge, and I'm able to like get gift cards and stuff like that. But I think we're kind of wrapping up the end of this video. There is a few pictures at the end, but I appreciate you so much for watching, and if you decide to download this build, I hope you enjoy it.